Welcome to Drunken Movie Geeks. My name is Matt Swizzy. Today we're going to be talking about Rogue One, a Star Wars story. With me today is Chris Lariviere. And at the back we have Fact Check Dan, the Fact Check Man. And honestly, I'm pretty stoked to talk about Rogue One. It's been long enough that everybody should have seen it. If you didn't see it already, I would be shocked because that movie made a shitload of money.
So spoiler warning, because
Yes.
everyone's seen it
Spoiler
already.
warning, the sequel will be directed by George Lucas, so that's exciting. But yeah,
So in general,
I was not surprised by any of it because I knew the story was going to happen.
yeah. Did you like it?
I liked it, but I had a real problem caring about anybody. And I get why, because we were talking about this earlier, it's rewriting Star Wars canon. None of these characters have ever been referenced before. None of them have ever appeared, unless I think in Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
Some of them have, even like in passing.
I mean,
So these were all new people that I didn't care about and didn't need to know about. That's it.
like just overall, I liked it coming out of the theater. I came out as just like, I was pumped. And I came out more pumped to rewatch it than I did coming out of Force Awakens.
Really?
I came out of Force Awakens, I was like, that was cool. That was good. It got the job done. But this one came out, it's kind of like, I kind of want to rewatch that.
Yeah.
The thing is that growing up, I was a big fan of the big Star Wars action set pieces,
Yes.
And I'm like, and none of the action set pieces in Force Awakens come anywhere near rivaling the original trilogy. Whereas this one, I'm like, that whole last act on the beach with them fighting on the ground and inside and the space battle happening above, and then the X-Wings fly down, and it was like
Planetary shield thing was cool as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. That whole action sequence, I was just like, I can stack that up against the Battle Path. I don't think it beats it, but I'm like, it stands with it, and it doesn't look out of place. Nothing in Force Awakens came close to being like an all-timer, except maybe the lightsaber fight at the end.
Force Awakens did a really good job of portraying a time lapse in the Star Wars universe, and everything being a little bit different.
It was a soft reboot.
Yeah.
Force Awakens was a good
but
soft
it also
reboot.
made the technology level a little bit less ridiculous. And I was fine with that because, the Star Wars universe for technology exists in a state of stasis for thousands upon thousands of years.
But I mean, not that this is a review of Force Awakens.
No. But what I'm saying is they did the tone really well for 30 years, 40 years later. Rogue One did a really good job of making all the technology level, irrespective of special effects, make it look like it was made roughly at the same time.
Yeah.
As the New Hope.
It slides right into New Hope beautifully.
For sure.
Whereas, again, Force Awakens was in such a hurry to basically reset the universe to where it was in A New Hope. It was like, oh, there's a new empire, and Jedis are gone again.
The weird thing is
they're the Resistance again. And where this movie really, it felt like a Star Wars movie despite not having a crawl and stuff, just because everything was so familiar. All the designs are the same. They're not like X-Wings, but 30 years later with minor cosmetic changes.
With like slightly thinner bodies and like the S-foils being a little bit different.
I don't know. It really did feel like a Star Wars movie.
It did.
And that whole last action sequence to me felt like right out of the original trilogy.
It felt like a better war movie than most modern action movies have been.
Yeah.
For your money, like your $15, $20, strip away all the Star Wars shit. Take away all the Star Wars aesthetic.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, is this a good sci-fi movie?
I mean,
keep
there's
in
a
mind-
lot of stuff that makes no sense. Who's that dude in the dark outfit that shows up
I'm
halfway
saying
through the movie?
use him as a villain with powers.
Okay.
And they don't explain them.
It doesn't work as well.
No.
It doesn't work as well without the Star Wars sheen. Because as a standalone movie, it's like it's a movie about guys and girls, movie about a team getting a thing to stop a thing, and they get the thing, but then they don't stop the thing in this movie. So you're like, oh, okay, I guess
It's a Pyrrhic victory. They got the plans there, but
guess.
they died in the process.
the last 10 minutes of this movie would make no sense if it wasn't Star Wars.
No, and
I think that's
really wouldn't.
that's one of my biggest issues is that I think I enjoy the movie. It's got issues here and there, but the more I thought back on it, I'm just like, yeah, that was a little. I mean, the characters are generally undercooked.
Yeah, that my problem with the movie is this leans so heavily on A New Hope and the prequels setting up the universe. Like, I wish they had done a different way about it. I wish they hadn't had a CG Leia. I wish Darth Vader hadn't had one really shitty appearance where he makes a pun.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, fuck that. No. The second appearance of Vader when he just fucks everyone up in the hallway, I was just like, yes.
And that's
so good.
That first Vader scene
So
undercuts
pointless.
the second Vader scene.
I guarantee you that's a reshot one though. Because they're just
Vader
like, Vader needs more screen time.
Vader actually wasn't in the movie originally.
Really?
Vader is all reshoot.
Because he works so well at the end that, I guess if they reshoot at the end, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
because,
him tonally, man?
Can you imagine if you had no idea Vader was in the movie? And then it's the end, and they're like, they made it. They got the plans. And then you hear like, whoo, and you're like, what? And the
Well, when you
saber
see
shows
the saber
up,
ignite, that's
and
like,
it'd be like,
fuck yeah.
oh my. Like, people would have lost their fucking minds.
I still did. I knew he was in the movie.
Even though but you knew that wasn't going to be his only scene when he does that shitty pun. And,
Well, I don't know, man. This is the franchise that spawned no. So I have no expectations for Vader
But
appearances.
they're in different hands now.
They're in different hands, but anytime Vader is there past Jedi, I have no expectations.
The problem is that the characters are undercooked. There's enough there that I wasn't, like, I liked them, but
The acting is fine.
when they all died at the end,
Yeah.
I feel like I should feel sadder had I gotten a chance to really connect. I like Donnie Yen a lot.
Donnie Yen
I
is
like his
what-
character,
okay.
but I don't even know his character name. Like, I don't know any of these people's names. I barely remember Jin's name.
Jin Erso, and then
And then Diego Luna's character.
Cassian Andor.
Cassian.
Donnie Yen was Chirrut Imwe.
True Demway, whatever.
And then Wen Yang was Baze Malbus. That's Big Gun guy.
Yeah.
Yes. See, I like Big Gun Guy.
So-
and I like his bromance with Donnie Yen. There's just enough there that I'm like, I get it, but an extra scene of them bonding would have then helped the ending really hit more.
I like them, like those two, specifically because it gives me hope that in the next Star Wars films, we're going to have, they're going to bring back the Force traditions that they had in the expanded universe in the Star Wars games, because that's like one of the coolest parts about Star Wars is the Force.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of really nerdy shit on there now where Chirrut saying, I am the Force and the Force is with me, I am the Force, and recanting that battle cry while he's walking into the in the middle of a crossfire. Up until then, the stormtroopers had been so accurate.
They hit targets in this one.
And everyone's like, what the fuck? Stormtroopers are super lethal. And the stormtroopers are super lethal in Force Awakens.
Yeah, they are.
But as soon as people start saying and may the Force be with you, and using a low level psychic manifestation of the Force, the stormtroopers start missing shots. And I'm like, that's really cool. I don't think that is at all
So
what
I feel
they
like
planned.
that's a retroactive nerd
That-
fix
well, that's
for
exactly it.
In the movie, they're like, we can't have our main characters die in every battle scene, so they just have to miss a lot.
But everybody dies in this, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Which,
now they don't have to reconcile why they have characters
And I did,
here and there.
and that's what I love. See, when they announced that they were doing more and more Star Wars, and they're we'll do 7, 8, 9, and I'm like, ugh. And then they're like, we're gonna do standalone Star Wars movies set all over the place. I'm like, that's interesting. Because I'm sick of the fucking Skywalkers. I don't need Skywalkers in these movies anymore. And I know we're getting 8 and 9, and that's fine.
8 and 9,
But I was very excited for these standalone movies.
Yeah.
And when Rogue One is a standalone Star Wars movie, it really works. When it's episode 3.5, it's very hit and miss.
This movie, this is not my favorite Star Wars movie. This is
No,
not even in my top 3 favorite Star Wars
Did
movies.
you like it more than Force Awakens?
I didn't.
You did?
I did not.
Okay. Dan,
No.
did you like Rogue One more than A Force Awakens?
I liked it for a lot of the stuff that we already talked about, or you guys already talked about how it felt nice to watch something that happened in the rebellion that wasn't a Skywalker.
Yeah.
I'm on the flip side. I wish some of them would have survived. Because I would have liked a Rogue 2 of something else that was going on during the rebellion.
Like they go on some other mission.
Yeah,
Here's
like
my
while
question for you,
they're
though.
doing all the other stuff on Endor, they would have Rogue would have continued to do other shit in the
Where
galaxy.
like
But-
so you have this whole Rogue movies running parallel to the original trilogy.
This is the problem with that, though. Where were they during all these other things?
Where were they on Hoth?
Where
And
were they on Hoth?
they-
Where were they when they went to Bespin? Where were they before
That's
Endor?
easy.
Like, no,
you,
it's
you do a special edition, and you just add
You add the
you
bit-
add like Cassian in the background of an Empire shot.
Yeah.
you add Jyn crossing frame.
you
like
could
in
put
Return of the
Truth
Jedi.
Sport, like Force Ghost meeting Luke, and Luke's like,
No,
who
but
the
you know
fuck
what?
are these people? Like,
No, but no, I disagree. I mean,
I don't.
I think this movie killing off everyone was
It's
ballsy,
the best part.
and it was the best part.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff.
I know-
That's the kind of stuff you should do with a standalone movie. You don't have to keep these characters alive because they show up later on. That's
and
the
you
problem with
shouldn't
prequels.
keep them alive, especially when the next movie is the beginning of a franchise which you're coming into 40 years later.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot do that and fuck with the fans as much as we've been fucked with special editions and prequels
no.
and like.
Oh, please, don't do that.
You can't do it.
So let's talk about how they recreated Tarkin and they recreated Princess Leia in
Yeah.
CG. Like they obviously
right.
couldn't bring
So-
that back.
So here's
A lot
here's
of people hate it. I don't.
You know what?
Except for Leia. Like, okay, out of the two, Tarkin's fine.
So here's the thing: the very first scene when Grand Moff Tarkin shows up,
Yeah.
right? And you see him from behind. I was like, oh, and you see his reflection through the glass. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a very subtle way of doing it. But then he turns around, and I'm just kind of like, oh no. And here's the thing: I don't remember. I don't remember a single line of dialogue from that first scene that he's in because I
No.
spent the whole scene going, oh my god, did they get a look like? Oh no, oh no, he's full CG.
That's
I'm
Peter
just like,
Cushing's
oh no.
CG face. Like,
And honestly, I stopped paying attention for that scene. It took
Really?
me out of the movie immediately because I spent the whole scene being like, oh no, oh no.
see, did you watch it?
Oh no.
Were you watching it in 3D or
Ah.
2D?
2D.
Okay, so in 3D, it looks really good.
Oh, yeah?
This is the weird thing because we were talking about it. And I'm like, man, he looked fucking great. Steph had no idea.
You know what? By the
that he was dead.
second scene, I
Yeah.
was fine with it.
This is one
And
of the
then
rare
I
occasions.
just accepted it. So I'm actually
Yeah.
glad he was in it as much as he was because
Yeah.
had it just been one scene, it really pulled me out of it for that one scene. But after that, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of okay with it.
So, like new character wise, like we had Grand Moff Tarkin, we had Leia, we had Vader.
But you know what though?
We had three like these are the main three people to kick off the entire plot of A New Hope. And then we had amazing actors who are super forgettable. I don't remember half the things that director Krennic said, and I love Ben Mendelsohn.
No, he was good.
He was good. They were really
mean-
good, but this is not a movie that has a lot of memorable dialogue. for me.
Why would? Here's the thing: they recast Mon Mothma. They didn't like.
Well,
it's-
they recast her in the
in Revenge
in
of the
prequels
Sith, but
too,
she got cut
man.
out. But I mean, it's a different actor.
Yeah.
I would have just recast Peter Cushing. I would have just recast Grand Moff Tarkin.
I
Instead
don't,
of doing
I don't
this,
think you can do it.
because apparently this stuff costs a fortune to do.
It costs a fortune,
It costs
and-
a fortune to CG him. I'm just like, why would I would have just recast him. I would have recast him.
You're
and been
talking to
like, we're done.
Disney. They have enough money to be like, fuck it. We want his face and his voice to go.
So what about like Lucasfilm? All because Lucasfilm has always been on the front edge of technology, especially when it comes to CG, to visual effects. Like this is according to everything that's been written about it, and Disney has released zero information, right? Of
course.
And apparently this is as close to photorealistic people in motion
Well,
capture.
you know
that
what,
we've
though?
we're
gotten
getting is
ever.
we're getting the uncanny valley effect in certain video games. Like you can have stuff rendered in 8K now. Like the newest Resident Evil game is incredibly beautiful by itself.
But it's not photoreal.
Well, that's the thing. When you put it at that resolution, you're looking at it, you're like, holy shit, this looks amazing. The facial muscles are not there yet.
You
and
know
like
what?
the minor
Here's the thing.
ticks that you get are not there yet. But the overall look of him, when he's just looking at Krennic with a stern look on his
in a
face,
still,
it's perfect.
in stills, it's gorgeous. Like you can't tell. In motion though, I just feel like they're still one step away from being where we can't tell the difference anymore.
Lucasfilm
Not to
and,
think
like-
of, but not to go into the weirdness of. I know they got Peter Cushing's estate's permission for
Yeah.
this, but it starts getting to a very dicey area, and especially now that like Carrie Fisher died, like do they just keep CGing her and bringing her back? I'm like, you've
I
gone
think
to
out of
really
respect,
like
they don't.
morally gray area.
It's
that I'm
not-
just like, just recast the role, just recast him. I would have forgiven it.
This isn't a super morally gray area though, because we've been using the images of dead celebrities for years to make more money.
I know,
So
but,
it's
but now
not-
you're giving them full scenes and roles, and they're not just.
Is the estate getting paid?
Oh, I'm sure.
Fuck it, it's fine.
I guess.
Your hands are clean.
I guess.
If you're using somebody, yeah, we got to use his likeness for something.
I'm not gonna lie. Like if I was directing that, they'd be like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Let's recast it." We recast Mon Mothma. It's fine. Just get someone who looks enough like Peter Cushing and can act. And as long as in the first scene you set up, like, "Oh, Grand Moff Tarkin," and it's like, cool. Then
But then, he
there.
looks dramatically different in 10 minutes when you're on a
But Harry
Corvette.
Potter did it. Harry Potter recast Dumbledore. Did
Yeah,
it
that's
just
fucking magic, though. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. Fucking,
The Matrix recast the Oracle.
she's a computer virus. You can't fucking recast a guy
I'm just saying.
and then be like, why do you look so different and also slightly less
I just
British?
feel the adherence to the rules of the to the universe you've created
Yeah.
is overpowering like common sense in terms of real people making movies. We know it's a movie. We understand that the actor died and you have to recast it. We're as an audience, I think we're fine with that.
I think there's a really nice kind of connection, though, to the fact that Lucasfilm again now is starting to be like, let's get to the front edge of tech. Let's use this new technology that we have to do something special and new. Like we're back to Hoth now with miniatures never been done like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is
they
basically.
did do minis on the.
I'm
on
you know what?
Rogue One,
I'm
didn't they?
okay.
Or was it all? I don't know if they did any practical or if they did
No, there was
CG,
a-
but I feel like there was a lot of
there might have been
practical and
some
minis and
practicals.
stuff. Because a lot of those shots, like you look at it and you're like, holy shit, that looks good.
I'm okay with it in terms of like de-aging actors. Like Michael Douglas and Ant-Man look pretty good.
Michael Douglas
And I'm okay with that because you had Michael Douglas on set and you de-age. I'm okay with the technology being used for that.
Marvel /
Bringing-
Disney for CGing and de-aging
they're getting
is
good at that.
great. Like Tony Stark in
in
Civil War this
looking
last year.
really
Oh
good.
my God.
That's where you use that technology.
Yeah.
Bringing people back from the dead, I'm just like, just recast that role.
I don't.
Just recast it.
Those are roles and characters you can't do.
I'm actually, oddly enough, okay with CG Leia at the end because even though it looked terrible, like so much worse than Grand Moff Tarkin, like she
Yeah.
looked like she had Vaseline, like it just looked
It's a
oddly
sweaty.
soft.
It's a sweaty Corvette, man. Like it's. You know what? That's a lot of it though. On the special effects note, like irrespective of the facial thing, everything in this movie, every set piece, every single little bit of set design and CG and practical effects they did looked so fucking
It's a gorgeous film. That's why it kills me at the end because
Yeah.
I think it's probably the best looking Star Wars movie. Which is why when it ends at the end on that weird CG Leia turning around and she's
Yeah.
like, "We have hope." I'm like, "Ah!" And then they go to credits. I'm like, "Ah! That's how you're ending your movie? Oh no!"
Yeah.
But a terrible last shot for
my
such a
money,
gorgeous
though,
movie.
the entire film, I know there's a lot of planet jumping, and that's one thing that I liked. But every single planet felt unique enough
Yeah.
that it didn't feel like Hoth 2.0 or Tatooine 2.0, kind of like Jakku did in The Force
Well, yeah,
Awakens.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
this-
Jakku might as well have just been Tatooine.
It probably
I can't tell
was.
the difference.
It was just the political renaming.
I-
It used to be the Congo, and now it's Jakku.
Yeah.
But no, the CG in it looked really good. I wanted a little bit more, like, I guess because it was a research, or not a research thing, it was like an advanced technology department. I wanted a little bit more variation in new ships and stuff, but
Well, but it
you
takes
can't,
place at the-
you can't really ask for that. That's more of me being like borderline
How did you feel
autistic.
about all? Here's the thing. There's a lot of fan service in this movie.
So
And
fucking much.
Sometimes I'm okay with it, and sometimes it's terrible. So let me give you an example. When they run to the guys from the Tatooine bar,
Yeah.
and I'm just kind of like, really? Because within the hour, that city gets destroyed. So I guess they were just on their way to their ship to then go to Tatooine so they
Yeah.
can meet up with Luke and Obi-Wan.
You
Like
didn't-
2 days later.
That's not even the most egregious fan service. It's R2 and C-3PO in this movie.
Oh, for no reason.
That pissed me off. Like, I got so fucking mad. I'm
Because
like,
again, if you watch this movie and you've never seen a Star Wars movie before, you'd be like,
Yeah.
who the fuck are those droids? Why is this shot in the movie?
well, that's exactly it. Like, that's why when we ask, like, is this a good movie? If you take out the Star Wars stuff, you have a lot of fan service, and like I said, this movie leans so heavily on the franchise to succeed, and it's fine with that. It's a standalone story in a vast universe, but for their next standalone film,
They really need to fucking stand alone.
when the Han Solo one comes out in 2018, I'm not excited for it.
I don't need
full
to,
stop. I'm not excited.
I don't
for
need
it.
to see how Han met Chewie, how Han got his vest, where he got the blaster from,
Why
how
like,
he lost the Falcon to Lando.
the
Like, this is all stuff we're gonna
game
see.
he I don't want to see any of that.
I guess we'll see him make the Kessel run.
I don't. Yeah, that to me,
I guarantee you it'll be in the movie. I guarantee
it's
you.
such
We will see him do the Kessel run in the movie.
And that
Pod Racing 2.0.
That's all it's
pod
gonna
racing, you know what? The Kessel Run is going to be pod racing
gonna be in the
2.0.
movie.
Because there's going to be like, Han, you've got to get this spice elsewhere. And people are going to be like, oh, what's spice?
Oh, he's gonna have to race Sebulba.
He was
So
just
Bulba, I
raised.
don't think will have been born
He'll
yet.
race Sebulba.
I don't know. I don't know if it's... Oh, no, Sebulba's
How-
totally born. Yeah, Sebulba might be
How
a bull
old
guy.
does that alien race live? Who
I don't
knows?
know, man. Maybe they're like goldfish. It's like 6 weeks of pod racing. And
You know what's
that's it.
one bit of fan service they did in Rogue One that I actually really liked was reusing unused footage from A New Hope with the X-Wing pilots, and you have
Yeah.
Gold Leader and Red Leader.
Yeah.
I thought that was really smart because it recontextualizes the end of A New Hope. So when you see A New Hope now, they're no longer just random extras who die.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, that was the guy from the battle from Scarif?
That was Porkins. Scarif.
Scarif.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, that was the guy from the Battle of Scarif. But now, like, they're not extras anymore. They're battle-hardened rebel fighters who have
Yeah.
survived other big battles. And then to see him die in this, you're like, oh, fuck, man.
Well, battle hardened. They fought on Scarif 8 days ago, and now they're like, "Hey, the thing we tried to stop
but
then,
you know what?
and we
I
didn't."
actually think that's one thing that when you watch Rogue One and then rewatch New Hope, I think that adds to A New Hope.
Yeah.
As opposed to taking away from it. Dan doesn't agree, though.
I think it does the same thing that the prequels did that I think was a disservice to this particular genre of movie. It shrunk the size of the universe.
No, but it made
People were
sense.
looking at
They're rebel fighters. This was the rebels' major operation
Yeah, but
prior to attacking the
this
Death
is a
Star. They would have been the
galactic
rebel
Oh yeah,
leaders.
it's galaxy
This
spanning.
is a galaxy-spanning war, like in the.
But the Rebel Alliance is small at this stage, though.
That's the problem. It's okay. So we have the Rebel Alliance versus the Empire.
Yeah.
The Galactic Empire. And the Rebel Alliance is like a collection of planets and small systems that have disaffiliated themselves from the Empire, working clandestinely to take down the Empire. This is Bing trying to take down Google. Like you have to, like it's a very different battlefield, and
See, to me, it made sense that they would be there.
it makes sense that they would be there. But
And I thought that was a smart way of throwing some fan service where casual fans would never notice. But I
No.
sat there being like, holy fuck, it's Gold Leader.
it's Porkins.
Yeah.
The fat guy's name is
about Porkins,
the fat guy's name is Porkins. He's the only fat character in science fiction. Okay, I have to be excited for him. He's great. Let's do the Jerry Springer final thought, man. So, gun to your head. I don't like giving it a rating. Can you, if I were not a Star Wars fan, can you recommend this movie to me?
Ugh. I mean, yes, but the movie will go on 10 minutes too long for you.
Sure.
The movie should have ended when the team died.
Perfect.
It's the movie of the team. When the team dies, your movie should have ended. Everything after that is episode 3.5, which basically takes you right up to the first few minutes of A New Hope. And that's the kind of stuff that, as a standalone movie, does not work at
No.
all because none of that will make any sense to you. But if it was just a story of a team acquiring plans, and then they acquire the plans, and then they all die, that's your movie. So I really hope that, and I get that this was the first spin-off movie that they were making. I know Disney was very nervous about it, which is why they went back and added all the Vader stuff into
Yeah.
it. But just let these standalone movies be standalone movies. They don't need to connect, they don't need to be between episodes. They can just let them do their own thing. And then that way we don't have to worry about why is this person not, it's a very big universe. Not everyone has to bump into each other.
No.
Just let it be.
Cool.
I liked it. I think I liked it more than Force Awakens.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't like it more than Force Awakens. I honestly think for me, it's like Empire, Jedi, Force Awakens, New Hope.
Wait, you like Jedi more than A New Hope?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the only reason why is
Well, that's an episode right there.
Likes furries.
yeah, I like furries. I literally just like
that makes
honestly like
sense.
hairy midgets just do it for me. No, I like Jedi better than New Hope just because I like flying motorcycles. It's a really shitty reason. Like it's a dumb arbitrary reason. Honestly, we got nothing else to say about it. Thank you so much for watching, Dan. Thank you for fact checking. I'm gonna thank you every week. Stay tuned for some more stuff. We got some other things to talk about, and I hope you guys watch.
Cheers.
Take care.